You're with God, day 93. The reading for today is out of the book of Job, and the emphasis of the devotional reading is on worshiping God in times of suffering, which, seems appropriate coming out of the book of Job. And the point that they're making is that Job worshipped God even in the midst of the worst circumstances in his life. In fact, worse circumstances than most of us could probably ever imagine going through. And in this time of incredibly difficult circumstances, Job kneels down and worships God. And in the practice for the day, as you go through your time of worship, you're supposed to focus on a time when you've specifically struggled with something, a very, very difficult time in your life, and try to remember the hand of God or the presence of God in those times. I think one of the things with worshiping God in times of suffering is that it takes our mind off of our circumstances and turns our mind back to God. The things that we focus on tend to dominate our thinking. And I think when we step away from God, when we walk away from worshiping God in times of suffering, our focus stays more on our suffering, and it becomes more difficult for us. And sometimes stepping away from that emphasis and turning our attention and our focus and our emphasis to God, I think can be very, very helpful in times of suffering. And I think it can renew hope, because it helps us lift our eyes from where we're at and focus our thoughts on God, the author and finisher of our faith. So, those are my thoughts on day 93.